These are the specific learning objects. That means we should know at least these points very well from this chapter of carbohydrate chemistry. And the points are definition and classification of carbohydrate, different types of carbohydrates, overview and biological function, right? So basically in biochemistry, we read or we learn the biochemical basis of medicine, right? It is a combination of biology and chemistry, as you all have studied in your +2 level, but this is much finer and this relates medicine with the biochemistry and biology. So from biochemistry, we are going to learn the biological functions and their deformities or disease, how to correlate with disease or how to clinically correlate. And then the most important thing, that is structure and isomerism of monosaccharides, right? Then reactions of monosaccharides, there are different reactions that lead to different products from carbohydrate. Those end products are very important in our further metabolism and further reactions. That's why reactions of monosaccharides we will learn, and oligosaccharide and polysaccharides with their components and importance. So now coming to definition of carbohydrate. So someone tell me, dekhei bol na dekhei bol, what is carbohydrate? Polyhydroxy, aldose or ketose or compounds that will produce these things on hydrolysis. So polyhydroxy means there will be multiple OH groups along with a functional group of aldehyde and ketone. But from the basic name, that is carbohydrate, it is hydrates of carbon. Hydrates mean addition of water. So addition of water with carbones will lead to the formula of CH2O. The structural formula or empirical formula of carbohydrate will be CH2O whole to the power n, where n is the number of carbon atoms, and that will lead to the different carbohydrate molecules. Okay. So here is the examples. Here are the examples where glucose and fructose is seen here. So in glucose there is aldehyde group, the functional group is aldehyde, and how many OH groups are there? 5 OH groups. All other carbon atom is attached with one OH group. In case of fructose, there is a keto group, and when making the structure, we always start from the top carbon. The functional group we mark it as C1. Right? In case of ketone, keto will always be in the second position or it may be in the lower position, but when making the structure of or the nomenclature of the carbohydrate is done, then the C1 is the top carbon, and here in fructose the C2 carbon is ketone functional group. Okay, and in case of fructose also, how many OH groups are there? 5. So other than the functional group, all carbon atoms are attached with OH groups. So polyhydroxy, poly OH groups with a functional aldehyde or ketone group, right? What is this? This is the smallest carbohydrate, that is 3 carbon. So why 3 carbon is the smallest? To accommodate a keto group, we need at least 3 carbon. তাই তো যদি আরেকটা দিকে H হয়ে যেত C এর সাথে, that will be a aldehyde group. So glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone, these are the smallest carbohydrate. And what carbohydrate will be this? According to the carbon number, this will be a triose. Tetrose will be 4 carbon. And we will consider glyceraldehyde as the reference carbohydrate. Why reference carbohydrate? Because the second carbon of the glyceraldehyde C1 is CHO group, aldehyde group carbon. Second carbon is the reference carbon. Okay, and after every addition of C group or carbon group in deceraldehyde, that will increase the carbon number of carbohydrate. So triose will be a tetrose, and then pentose, then hexose, but the reference carbon will be this carbon, and every other carbon will add on the top of this carbon. Okay, so this will remain on the penultimate position. What is penultimate position? That is the second last position. Okay, so this carbon we will refer it as penultimate carbon or the second last carbon, and we will consider it further in our isomerism. Okay, now in the definition there was another thing, that is any compound that will produce or yield into polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones when hydrolyzed. So starch is a molecule that is hydrolyzed and it produces sugar molecules. Which sugar? Glucose. Okay, starch is a polymer made up of glucose monomers. So starch itself kintu compound tate OH groups amra openly dekhte pabo na, but when all of you understand Bengali? Okay. No, okay. So if starch is hydrolyzed, then we will get monomers of glucose, and glucose have all the properties of carbohydrate, polyhydroxyaldehyde group. So starch molecule, we can say starch, cellulose, all these are compounds that will produce carbohydrates or polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketones. Now coming to biomedical importance, we all know glucose is very important for energy production. It is the main source of energy in humans, animals and plants also. So other than the energy source or fuel source, we save glucose, or the storage of energy is done from glucose or carbohydrates in the form of glycogen. In animal body it is glycogen, in plant body it is starch or cellulose. Okay, and also carbohydrates are precursors for many other organic compounds. In case of deficit or malnutrition, what happens? Glucose is converted into required amino acid, or in excess amount of glucose, glucose is converted into lipids, adipose tissue, fats. And now coming to another important function, that is for the structure of cell membrane and other cellular functions like receptors and other glycoproteins, glycolipids required for cell growth, adhesion and fertilization also. So to make the structural compounds, glucose is much needed. And also I told you, as from the different reactions we will get different carbohydrate derivatives that are further used in drugs. In case of our ground structure material like bones, cartilage and all other connective tissues, they are made up of heteropolysaccharides. So glucose derivatives are very much important. And not but the last point is list, that is diabetes mellitus is the one of the most concerned disease. So we should know about it. Now you all know the source, okay, right? Source of carbohydrate. Now coming to classification of carbohydrate. How can we classify carbohydrate? Based on the smallest unit. So it would be monosaccharide. Tell now, like you have studied already, right? You tell yourself: monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. So monosaccharide cannot be hydrolyzed any further. So that is the smallest carbohydrate unit, and with connecting few monomers of monosaccharides, we will get oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So what is the difference between oligo and poly? 2 to 10 monomers will form oligosaccharide. When 2 monosaccharides are connected, that is known as disaccharide. 3 to 10 is oligo and more than 10 is poly. So these are the monosaccharides that can be further divided into aldoses and ketoses based on their functional group. So we learned from the definition itself that the functional group will be aldehydes or ketos. So in case of aldehydes and ketos, we name it as the number of carbon atoms present in that monosaccharide. That is 3 carbon monosaccharide is known as triose, 4 carbon tetrose, 5 carbon pentose and so on. Most important carbohydrates are hexoses and also pentose, that is ribose and deoxyribose. These are also very important. Now you should know the basic names of tetroses, that aldotetrose and ketotetrose, triose and all these, like you should know the names at least. And here are the basic structures, chemical structure. What is the difference in triose and aldotriose and aldoketose? The functional group only. Here also erythrose, erythrulose, this is the aldehyde group, this is the keto group. Pentose, hexose. Now coming to hexose. See, all 3 molecules have 6 carbons. All the monosaccharides, all 3 hexose, and there could be many more. Right? Name one that is not written over here. Galactose is here. Talose, and another important mannose, that is not written over here. Okay, glucose, galactose, fructose is written here. So you have seen glucose and fructose in previous slides, and here is galactose. It is also 6 carbon aldehyde. Where is the difference from glucose to galactose? 4th carbon. Which is the 4th carbon? This is the 4th carbon. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4th carbon is different from glucose. So these are C4-epimer. We will go into the isomers later on. Now here are few examples and their importance. Okay, few important monosaccharides with their importance. You should remember these. So glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone, these are important intermediates of carbohydrate metabolism. Erythrose is also intermediate of carbohydrate metabolism. Ribose and deoxyribose, structural element of nucleic acid, RNA, DNA, and they act as coenzymes also in NADH, NAD, like this. Then glucose, fructose, galactose, mannose, these all are dietary carbohydrates. Okay. What is galactose? Galactose kothay thake? From which dietary source we get galactose? Source of galactose? Who told? Kev ekjon bollo? Milk. So milk sugar is lactose. Lactose is composed of galactose and glucose. So in our gut, lactose is divided into galactose and glucose by the lactase enzyme. We will see. Okay, now coming to oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides ki, these are the oligosaccharides. Disaccharides mane, there will be how many monosaccharides? 2 monosaccharides, not 2 carbon atoms. Number C, this is not C, this is number of monosaccharides. Okay, so 2 monosaccharides will join together to form disaccharides. Here are the examples: maltose, lactose, sucrose. Maltose is glucose and glucose, 2 glucose molecules. Lactose is glucose and galactose. Sucrose, glucose and fructose. Trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, these you just know the names and component, because all these are the parts of dietary fibers mainly. So they are not digested much. They made the bulk of the food. And these 2 monosaccharides are joined by glycosidic bond. Okay. Now coming to polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are the compounds that are made up of more than 10 monosaccharides, and they can be homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides according to the types of monosaccharides. So where the single kind of monosaccharide is joined and form a branch or unbranched chain, so they will be known as homopolysaccharide. Example, homopolysaccharide example, starch. So starch is homopolysaccharide, whether it is branched or unbranched. Starch is made up of amylopectin, amylose. So amylose is unbranched and amylopectin is branched. Heteropolysaccharides are also of two types, branched and linear, unbranched. Okay. So example of heteropolysaccharide, agar, pectin, mucopolysaccharides. And mucopolysaccharide is the most important topic of carbohydrate chemistry. Among everything, mucopolysaccharides are asked in Viva. They come as your long question also, short note also, everything. Now coming to isomers. What is isomer? When they have the same chemical formula but the structure are different. The structure can be different based on all these things. Same molecular formula but different structure. So how the difference occurs? It can be constitutional isomer or functional isomer. Constitutional means the structure is different. The structure, how the structure is different? By the presence of different functional groups. Give an example: glucose and fructose, aldose and ketose. So carbohydrates contain aldehyde or keto groups. This is very clear to everyone. Either there will be aldehyde group or there will be keto group. So these isomers are functional isomers or constitutional isomers. Galactose and glucose, are they functional isomers? No, because they both have aldehyde functional group. Then comes stereoisomers, where the atoms are connected in same order but differ in spatial arrangement. What is spatial arrangement? That is position of H and OH group around the carbon atom, and they are connected in same order. Whether it was connected in same order in glucose and fructose? No, because C1 had aldehyde in glucose and C2 had ketone in fructose. But in case of galactose, C1 has aldehyde in both the cases, but they differ in spatial arrangement of C4 group. And that is known as diastereoisomer or enantiomer. What will be enantiomers then? Mirror images, non-superimposable mirror images. I told you earlier about the penultimate carbon or the second last carbon. Do you remember the glyceraldehyde molecule? So when the glyceraldehyde molecule, in the glyceraldehyde molecule, OH group is on the right hand side, this will be D-glyceraldehyde. And when we add further carbon atoms, irrespective of their individual spatial arrangement, this H and OH group will determine the D or L form. Clear? বোঝা গেছে? Penultimate carbone, when the OH group will be in right hand side, it will be D form, and when the OH group will be on left hand side, it will be L form, and these are written in capital letters, D and L. So what is this glucose? This glucose, whether this is L glucose or D glucose? D glucose. Why? Because the penultimate carbon OH group is on the right hand side. Clear? D glucose. And how will it be L glucose? উল্টে দিলেই হয়ে যাবে, এই তো হয়েছে? Clear? So these are enantiomers. They are not diastereoisomers. These are enantiomers. In case of diastereoisomers, what happens? See, this is the reference carbohydrate. This is the reference carbohydrate of glyceraldehyde. We are adding one carbon above the penultimate carbon each time. So in case of erythrose and threose, what is the difference? They are diastereoisomers. Spatial arrangement আলাদা হয়ে যাচ্ছে, তাই তো? পেনাল্টিমেট কার্বনটা কিন্তু সেম আছে, that's why they both are D forms. Clear? Last এ বোঝা যাচ্ছে why they are D form? Because the penultimate carbon OH is in right hand side in both the compound. বাট তার উপরের কার্বনটাতে ডিফার করে যাচ্ছে। সো তারপর again when adding another C, so all these compounds are diastereoisomers of each another. Clear? Only the carbon atoms will differ. It may differ in C2, C3, C4. If it is different in C5, it will be enantiomer. And what is asymmetric carbon atom or chiral atom? Chiral carbon. So carbon's valency is 4. So when there are 4 different groups are attached with single carbon atom, that carbon atom is known as asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. So according to the number of chiral carbons present in a monosaccharide, we can derive the total number of isomers that particular monosaccharide will have. So in case of glucose, how many chiral atoms are there? 4. So these carbon atoms, and the rule is known as Van 't Hoff's rule. Van 't Hoff's rule of total number of isomers are 2 to the power n, where n is the number of chiral carbon. So for glucose, how many isomers will be there? Here are how many? কতগুলো আছে এখানে? How many isomers are there? আর বাকি আটটা কি হবে? L form. Very good. বোঝা গেছে? Clear? Is it clear? তো 2 to the power 4 is 16. So 8 is shown here. These are D forms and they will have L forms also. So all the 16s are isomers of what kind of isomer? Diastereoisomers or stereoisomers. Okay. Now coming to the last type of isomer, that is optical isomer. From the chart, that is the last type. Acha, no, not the last. We have epimers and anomers also. What is epimer? When the difference of special arrangement is only in one carbon. So like in galactose. Galactose ki hocche? It differs only in one carbon. Here is galactose. See, this is galactose. Look the arrangement. CHO, CH, OH, CH, OH in the third carbon, OH is in the left hand side. In glucose, until 3, it is same, taito? Same. In fourth carbon, in glucose, OH is in the right hand side, whereas in galactose, it is in the left hand side. So it is a C4 epimer of glucose. So in case of epimers, the special arrangement will be different only in one carbon. Same as in mannose. What happens in mannose? Mannose is a C2 epimer. Here, look, all other carbon atoms have same special arrangement as glucose. It differs only in C2. Clear? So these are the epimers. Are mannose and galactose epimers? Mannose or galactose ki epimer? So what are they? Diastereoisomers. ঠিক আছে? কিন্তু যদি আমরা এখান থেকে বলি এই যে iodose and glucose, they are nothing here is enantiomer because all these are D forms. D form and L form makes enantiomer pair. Okay? And diastereoisomers where there can be any special arrangement different in C2, C3, C4, anywhere. ঠিক আছে? But epimer where there will be only one carbon different special arrangement. Clear? See, single carbon atom will be different configuration. Here, mannose and galactose, these are not epimers, these are diastereoisomers because কটা আলাদা হয়ে যাচ্ছে এদের? দুটো আলাদা হয়ে যাচ্ছে, দুটো আলাদা হচ্ছে তো। Now coming to anomers. Anomers বোঝার জন্য we have to understand the structure of glucose. So Emil Fischer suggested open chain structure and hemiacetal structure or the rectangular ring structure of glucose. Emil Fischer. He was awarded Nobel in 1943. So, here in open chain, 6 carbon chain, linear chain we can see. This is open chain projection, and here it is the rectangular ring form where the second carbon or the first carbon, this is the first carbon now. First carbon forms a bond with fifth carbon. This is a hemiacetal bond. What is the hemiacetal bond? When a aldehyde reacts with alcohol, it will form a hemiacetal. So here carbon 1 had a aldehyde group, and in carbon 5 there is alcohol group. So it made a hemiacetal ring. Clear? This hemiacetal ring makes C1 a chiral carbon. Earlier was C1 a chiral carbon? Chilo na, because of the double bond O, taito. But now look at the C1. It is chiral carbon now. So now we can have another type of isomer regarding the C1. So based on C1 structure, now we can have another type of isomer that is known as anomer. And further, to get the anomer, we cannot say whether this is anomer alpha or beta from this structure. We should know the spatial arrangement of this OH group also now. So this OH group structure we can get from Haworth's projection, Haworth glucose structure. Okay, so here we can see this is a Pyran ring. Pyran ring means 5 carbon with a single oxygen. Okay, this is a hexagonal structure with 5 carbon atoms. So this is the pyranol structure, and here the position of OH we can see, and from this position we can derive whether it is alpha or beta. When the OH is on the opposite side of the ring or below the plane of the ring, it is alpha, and when it is above the ring, it is beta. See, this is glucopyranose and this is glucofuranose. Furan ring is a pentagonal structure and pyran is a hexagonal structure. Hexagonal structure with 5 carbon atom, 1 oxygen, and furan is 4 carbon, 1 oxygen. Pentagonal. So glucose can be glucofuranose and glucopyranose. Fructose can also be fructopyranose, fructofuranose. Okay. So anomeric carbons, now we know that these are alpha and beta variety. Here this is very uncertain, okay, this structure, but from this we can surely say which one is alpha and which one is beta. Clear to? Bojha geche alpha and beta shobar bojha geche. So when in this ring structure, every monosaccharide will have alpha and beta structures. So all the 16 isomers will be having these two anomers also. So total number of isomers for glucose will be 16 into 2. Each will have alpha and beta. There will be alpha galactose, beta galactose. Okay, alpha mannose, beta mannose, and in such order. So how many total isomers will be there? Okay. Now coming to optical isomerism. Okay. So last type of isomerism. What is optical isomerism? Other than structural arrangement, this is a typical feature or characteristic feature of a compound. So when a beam of plane polarized light is passed through a solution of any compound, it may be monosaccharide, it may be disaccharide, it may be polysaccharide, any solution, when a beam of plane polarized light is passed, it will be deflected either to right or to left. Right hand side rotation is known as dextrorotatory, left hand side rotation is known as levorotatory. So in case of D-glucose is dextrorotatory, that is light is reflected to right hand side, and in case of fructose it is levorotatory. Now notice one thing, it is both D-glucose and D-fructose, capital D. These have nothing to do with optical isomerism. Optical isomerism is noted as small d and small l, or plus or minus. When it is to the right side it is plus or small d, when it is towards left it is minus or small l. Clear? So if to write glucose properly, it will be capital D in bracket plus or small d glucose. In case of fructose, it will be capital D in bracket minus or small l fructose. Clear? This nomenclature is clear to everyone. As glucose is dextrorotatory, D-glucose and D forms are most commonly found in nature. Okay, all the monosaccharides, carbohydrates, they are found in D form in their natural sources. So D-glucose is also known as dextrose. Now coming to racemic mixture. So here we can see that one form rotates right and another form towards left. So if we add equimolar of these substances, so this will form a zero deflection, and this is known as, clear? So if we add D-glucose and small l glucose, okay, so they will both equimolar of the mixture of the both item compounds will create a zero deflection solution, and that is known as racemic mixture. Now another important characteristics of carbohydrate, that is mutarotation. It is also related to optical isomerism. What is this mutarotation? When a fresh solution of D-glucose is made, so all the glucose molecules are in mostly alpha conformation, alpha anomeric conformation, alpha beta anomers. Remember, alpha beta anomers, in alpha OH group is in the lower side, in beta OH group is above the ring. Clear everyone? বোঝা যাচ্ছে? You বোঝা যাচ্ছে? So what happens when a fresh solution is prepared of D-glucose? All the glucose structures are mainly in alpha conformation, and they give a optical rotation of plus 112 degree, okay, plus 112 degree rotation. But after 12 to 18 hours it will be changed to 52.5 degree, plus 52.5 degree, and this change in rotation with time is known as mutarotation. So the change in optical rotation or the change in the deflection, initially it was 112 degree, but with time the deflection reduces to 52.5 degree, and this phenomenon is known as mutarotation. And why this happens? As I told you, initially all the alpha D-glucopyranose rotation was based on the alpha structure. Alpha glucopyranose shows a optical rotation of plus 112 degree, whereas beta D-glucopyranose rotation is only plus 19 degree. So after a time of 12 to 18 hours, the structures of alpha is converted into beta and they come to a equilibrium position. In that equilibrium position, what happens? 1/3 of the compounds are in alpha form and 2/3 are in beta form. ঠিক আছে? So we prepared a glucose solution that contained only alpha in the initial phase. It will get converted into beta forms over time, and at the equilibrium. What is equilibrium? After that time period there will be no change in conformation. No beta will be changed into alpha, no alpha will be changed into beta. So the optimum equilibrium point will have 1/3 of alpha molecules and 2/3 of beta molecules, and their resultant optical rotation will be 52.5 বোঝা গেছে 1/3 of alpha will show 112 degree rotation and 2/3 of beta will show 19 degree rotation. So resultant will be 52.5 degree. Clear? All good? Now coming to reactions of carbohydrates. First, Benedict's reaction. In Benedict's test, you have done it in your practical, everybody. So what was the Benedict's principle? Benedict's principle কি ছিল? When reducing sugars are treated with alkaline medium, it forms enediol compounds. Enediol compounds কাকে বলছে? See, this is aldehyde and this is ketone, but this is an intermediary form of enediol where the double bond is transferred from oxygen to carbon. So there will be a carbon double bond between 1 and 2. So in both the cases of glucose and fructose, the enediol is same. Right? So this is a strong reducing substance and that will reduce the CuSO4, that is cupric sulfate to cuprous ion. Cupric ion to cuprous ion. Cu plus 2 to Cu plus will be formed and the reagent copper sulfate was, what was the color? Copper sulfate? Blue. Copper sulfate means the blue. Then it will be reduced to finally cuprous oxide. Cuprous oxide is red. So from this we can say whether there is any reducing substance present or not in the solution, right? To detect any reducing substance or reducing sugar, we perform the Benedict's test. Clear though? So what are the outcome we may get in Benedict's test? What kind of test is this? Whether it is qualitative or quantitative? This is a semi-quantitative. Okay. What is qualitative and what is quantitative? Qualitative is when we can detect a substance in a solution. The presence of that substance is detected, it is known as qualitative. Whether we can say this is present or not, that is qualitative. Whether this is good or this is bad, quality of the material. Okay, sugar is present, sugar is absent. This is the quality of the solution. This is qualitative test. What is quantitative test? When we can estimate the exact amount of a substance or analyte. So that is quantitative test. What happens here? We cannot say the exact amount of sugar, but we can say a range or a level of sugar present in this solution. According to the sugar concentration present in the solution, so will be the color change. If sugar is very less, it will be green or yellow. If it is into medium range, it will be orange, orangish red. And if there is high concentration of sugar or reducing sugar present, it will be brick red. And there will be precipitates of brick red compound. Clear? So here is the range. So as we can say a range, not a particular concentration, it is known as semi-quantitative. Qualitative to botei. It is a qualitative cum semi-quantitative test. Bojha geche? This is a very important question in Viva, whether Benedict's is qualitative or quantitative. It is neither qualitative, neither quantitative. It is semi-quantitative. Now, these are the carbohydrates that will give Benedict's positive. Which compound will give Benedict positive? Which property? Reducing property. So, every monosaccharide, every carbohydrate will have aldehyde or keto group. So, aldehyde and keto group have that property of reducing agent, right or wrong? But when both the aldehyde and keto groups are in use, then there will be no free aldehyde or keto group, and that will result in non-reducing property. Name one non-reducing sugar. Sucrose. Why? How come? Glucose aldehyde group and fructose keto group both are joined by 1,2 glycosidic bond. 1,2 glycosidic bond, C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose, they are joined together to form 1,2 bond, and this compound is sucrose. So there is no free aldehyde or keto group in sucrose. That's why sucrose is a reducing sugar. But one thing, if we do hydrolysis of sucrose, what happens? Sucrose will be converted into one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. So after hydrolysis, sucrose will also give Benedict's reaction, positive, and that will be a strong reaction, okay, because both glucose and fructose, they are present. Clear though? So if you are asked name one non-reducing sugar, that will be sucrose. But if further asked whether sucrose is always non-reducing, no. After hydrolysis, sucrose will be reducing in nature, not sucrose. The solution of sucrose, hydrolyzed product of sucrose will be Benedict's positive. Same goes with starch also. Starch is a polymer of glucose where alpha 1,4 linkages take place. ठीक है? So when hydrolyzed, free glucose residues will be formed. So that glucose will give Benedict's positive. So starch will also be negative initially, but after hydrolysis, starch will give Benedict's positive. And other than these, glucose, fructose, galactose, mannose, everything will give positive. Lactose, maltose, isomaltose, all these disaccharides will also give positive Benedicts. Now, this is also very important. Non-carbohydrates that give positive Benedict. Anything reducing in nature will give positive Benedict. Benedictor ki hoy? We see the color change. Copper sulfate blue will be converted into cuprous oxide red. Taito? So, any reducing substance other than carbohydrate reducing sugars, if you are asked name few, so these are the names. Okay. This is also very important. Now coming to glucose oxidase test. This is a bedside test we do to estimate whether there is glucose present in urine or not. So what happens? Glucose in presence of glucose oxidase is transferred into gluconolactone and H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. Whereas hydrogen peroxide reacts with colorless dye in presence of peroxidase enzyme to form a colored dye. Okay. So this is a bedside test we perform in case of urine dip test. There is strips, and these strips are dipped in urine samples. If there is glucose present, it will be converted into gluconolactone and H2O2. H2O2 will react with the dye present in the strip. Okay, there are dry dye placed in the strip. Clear? And there will be accordingly color change, and we can tally the color change and we can say how much glucose is present. বুঝা গেছে? This is a bedside test. Now coming to osazone formation. Osazone formation ki hoy? If we treat the monosaccharides with phenyl hydrazine, they will make crystals. Okay, these crystals are known as osazones. So see, why glucose, mannose and fructose? Glucose, mannose and fructose, they give similar needle-like crystals because the phenyl hydrazine reacts with carbon 1 and carbon 2 only. Okay, so carbon 1 and carbon 2 এর সাথে যদি react করে, this will make the common D osazone. Carbon 1 and 2 যদি এই রিঅ্যাকশনটা করে, in case of mannose, glucose and fructose, all three will be same. Why? Why? এই যে তুই বল, why osazone of glucose, mannose and fructose will be same? I told you because the phenyl hydrazine reacts with C1 and C2. So why the osazones will be same? কে বলতে পারবি? All the same, তাই তো? So other than the C1 and C2, there is no difference in glucose, mannose and fructose. Remember the structures. Mannose is C2 epimer of glucose and fructose is functional isomer that differs in C1 and C2 only, aldehyde and keto group only. So when reacted with phenyl hydrazine, C1 and C2 osazone will be same. তাই তো নিচেরটা সবটা সেম আর উপরে তো একই রিঅ্যাকশন হচ্ছে, দেওয়াই আছে। So in case of glucose, mannose and fructose, osazone crystals will be same. In case of lactose, we will get a cotton ball or puff-like, powder puff-like crystal. In case of maltose, we will get sunflower-shaped or petal-shaped crystals. Okay. So these crystals we can see in microscopes, and from these crystals we can differentiate different carbohydrates from a solution. Okay. Now we will just go through few basic tests to identify unknown carbohydrate molecule or unknown substance given. So Molish test is done to identify any carbohydrate molecule. Okay, any carbohydrate molecule having at least 5 carbon. You have to remember this. Molish test can be done to identify carbohydrates having at least 5 carbon. So if 5 carbon carbohydrate is present, there will be a purple ring formation in the junction. Clear? So we are given an unknown solution of carbohydrate. So we first have to confirm whether the unknown substance is carbohydrate or not. So we will perform Molish test. So in Molish test we will get the purple ring at junction. Next, Fellings test. Fellings is a similar test for reducing sugar, to identify the presence of reducing sugar, and it is same as Benedict's. We will get red precipitate. Okay, same hoy ওই copper sulfate থেকে মানে cupric থেকে cuprous হয়ে যাবে। Barfoed test. Barfoed test is done to differentiate monosaccharide and disaccharide. These are the points I am telling you is the main point. ঠিক আছে? How to differentiate? You may be asked how to differentiate a disaccharide and monosaccharide. By which test we will differentiate disaccharide and monosaccharide? Answer will be Barfoed. Barfoed is similar as Benedict, but the medium is acidic, whereas the medium was basic or alkaline medium in Benedict. Okay. So in case of Barfoed, here red precipitates will be formed in presence of monosaccharide. Monosaccharides will give positive Barfoed. Selivanov test. Selivanov test to differentiate between aldose and ketose. Aldose and ketose. So we can differentiate fructose and glucose by Selivanov test. Here the end product looks like this. Cherry red color is found in keto carbohydrates in Selivanov's test. How to differentiate aldose and ketose? By Selivanov test. Okay. Here is a chart where we can see various carbohydrates and various tests. So Molish will give positive because Molish is to confirm carbohydrates. So all the carbohydrates having minimum 5 carbon will give positive Molish. In Benedict's, all the reducing sugars, glucose, fructose, monosaccharide, lactose, maltose, disaccharide, they will give positive Benedict. Sucrose will be negative initially, but after acid hydrolysis it will be positive. In case of starch also, it will be negative initially, but after acid hydrolysis it will be positive, give positive Benedict. Barfoed to differentiate monosaccharide and disaccharide, I told you. So glucose, fructose, monosaccharide will give Barfoed's positive, and lactose, maltose, sucrose, everything starch will give negative. Then Selivanov's will be positive in fructose, and in case of sucrose, why? Acid hydrolysis will give rise to both glucose and fructose. I told you sucrose is a disaccharide formed by glucose and fructose. So after acid hydrolysis, fructose will be found in the solution and it will give positive Selivanov. So this is the basic chart. Now coming to the flow chart of identifying unknown carbohydrate. First we have to do Molish. carbohydrate, to confirm there is a carbohydrate, so it will give purple ring or violet ring. Okay. Oh, okay. Another thing, here is iodine test. We do iodine test to identify starch. So after this we will learn we will see the structure of starch. It is composed of amylose and amylopectin. So amylopectin is branched molecule. So in between the amylopectin branches, iodine can be adsorbed. Okay, iodine is adsorbed in between the amylopectin molecules branch and it gives a dark blue color. When starch is reacted with iodine, it will give rise to a dark blue color and that confirms the presence of starch. Starch এর সাথে আমরা যদি iodine মেশাই তাহলে it will give a blue color, dark blue color, and that is to confirm presence of starch. Iodine test is negative in all other carbohydrates. Clear? So initially when we confirm the presence of carbohydrate, we will do the iodine test to differentiate the initial starch molecule, whether it is starch or not, whether it is polysaccharide or mono or disaccharide. Clear? If there is iodine positive, see, if deep blue color is found, it may be starch. So initially, then again we will do Benedict test, which will give negative. Initial starch এর সাথে Benedict will give negative. After hydrolysis it will give red precipitate. So this is to confirm starch. তার মানে iodine positive দিল, তারপরে একটা initial Benedict we will do, which will be negative. Then we will hydrolyze the starch and we will do the Benedict to see whether it is positive. Clear? So starch is confirmed, and if there is no color change in iodine test, we will initially do Benedict. There will be red color precipitation or no precipitation. So no red color in Benedict মানে mono আর di এর মধ্যে কি থেকে গেল? Which monosaccharide or disaccharide gives negative Benedict? Sucrose. তার মানে ইনিশিয়ালি আমরা আয়োডিনে নেগেটিভ পেলাম, বেনেডিক্টেও নেগেটিভ পেলাম, দ্যাট মে বি নন রিডিউসিং সুক্রোজ। আমরা ইনিশিয়ালি যেগুলোকে ইজিলি আলাদা করা যায় we will separate them. Okay, so no red precipitate in Benedict's, this may be sucrose. তাহলে আমরা কি করব? We will do a hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis. After that it will give red precipitate, so sucrose is confirmed. Clear? Now when there is red precipitate, it may be any kind of reducing sugar, it may be monosaccharide, it may be disaccharide. So next we will do is Barfoed to differentiate monosaccharide and disaccharide, because among monosaccharides glucose, fructose, galactose, mannose, everything will give Benedict positive, and among disaccharide lactose, maltose, isomaltose all will give Benedict positive, but to differentiate mono and di we will do Barfoeds. So in case of positive monosaccharides it will give positive test, in case of disaccharide it will be negative. So we will do Osazone test directly. We have read already lactose is different Osazone and maltose is different Osazone. So by seeing the Osazone structures we can differentiate whether it is lactose or maltose. And here this is monosaccharides. হয়ে গেল, তাহলে ডাইস্যাকারাইড থেকে কটন বল অ্যাপিয়ারেন্স will confirm lactose and sunflower crystals will confirm maltose. So disaccharide we can differentiate further. And now coming to monosaccharides. Monosaccharides এর মধ্যে কি থাকতে পারে? গ্লুকোজ থাকতে পারে, ফ্রুক্টোজ থাকতে পারে, গ্যালাক্টোজ থাকতে পারে, ম্যানোজও থাকতে পারে। ওকে, সো আমরা এখানে বেসিক্যালি কি দেখব? Barfoed এর পর we will perform Selivanov to differentiate whether it is a aldo sugar or keto sugar. If it is a keto sugar, it will give cherry red color, fructose is confirmed, and we can perform Osazone test and see needle like crystal. This is fructose confirmation, and if there is no cherry red color in Selivanov, that means here is some aldose sugars. So aldose sugar এর মধ্যে আমরা we will mainly confirm glucose, because ম্যানোজ আর গ্লুকোজকে আলাদা করতে পারবো না। ওসাজন করেও আলাদা করতে পারবো না, ঠিক আছে? গ্যালাক্টোজ হলে কিন্তু আলাদা করা যাবে ওসাজন দিয়ে। ওকে, ক্লিয়ার? এই পর্যন্ত ক্লিয়ার তো? নাও কামিং টু অক্সিডেশন। আচ্ছা, কয়েকটা রিঅ্যাকশন কেন আমাদের ইম্পর্টেন্ট? বিকজ দ্য এন্ড প্রোডাক্ট, যে এন্ড প্রোডাক্ট গুলো উই আর গেটিং, দ্য এন্ড প্রোডাক্টস উই আর গেটিং আফটার দিস রিঅ্যাকশনস are important for our further metabolism or further structural components. Okay, so here we can see glucuronic acid by oxidation of carbohydrates we can get glucuronic acid or gluconic acid or glucosaccharic acid according to the presence of acid groups. Okay, so why are they important? Glucuronic acid key major part of polysaccharides. Polysaccharide, heteropolysaccharides are composed of uronic acids and amino sugars. Okay, so and glucuronic acid is also important for conjugation of toxic materials. They combine conjugate with toxic insoluble molecules and they are excreted. Okay, then reduction to form alcohols. The aldehyde group or the keto group, they can be reduced to form aldehyde groups also, alcohol groups also, mane the functional group. Other all groups have alcohols, only the aldehyde and the keto group, they don't have alcohols. So when they are further reduced to alcohol, the CHO group or C double bond O group, when they are converted into alcohol, what happens? Glucose is reduced to sorbitol, mannose to mannitol, fructose to sorbitol and mannitol, galactose to dalcitol and ribose to ribitol. Okay, so these things, they are very much water absorbing. Okay, so what happens if they stay like this? See, in case of lens, when glucose, here is the glucose molecule CHO group, it is reduced to sorbitol, CH2OH group. Okay, and further in seminal vesicle, this sorbitol is again converted into fructose. That's why seminal fluid contains fructose. Okay, in case of lens or kidney or nerve, what happens if glucose is excess? In case of diabetes mellitus, what happens? Glucose is excess in amount, so the excess glucose is converted into sorbitol, and this sorbitol absorbs water molecule. And what happens? After clear transparent crystal lens will absorb water to form cataract. Okay, so long term complication of diabetes mellitus will be cataract, retinopathy, nephropathy, neuropathy because of accumulation of sorbitol or mannitol. Okay, clear? বোঝা গেছে? That's why. And mannitol is therapeutically used to reduce the intracranial tension by forced diuresis, by osmotic pressure gradient. What happens if intracranial pressure is raised or ICT is raised? So mannitol is given intravenously in blood. So because of the because of the osmotic difference, osmotic pressure difference, fluid will come from CSF to blood. Okay, so intracranial pressure will be decreased. So in case of CVA, cardiovascular accidents or stroke patients, mannitol is given. Then lactulose is a synthetic disaccharide that is used as laxative for constipation. Okay, and then glycosides. Glycosides are the compounds that are formed by glycosidic bond. What is glycosidic bond? What is glycosidic bond? In case of anomeric carbons, C1, যখন একটা anomeric carbon তৈরি হচ্ছে সেই C1 এর যে OH টা ছিল, okay, the OH of anomeric carbon will react with any other compound to form a bond. That bond is known as glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond mainly one carbon থেকেই শুরু হবে, C1 থেকেই glycosidic bond হবে. Okay, so glycosidic bond C1 থেকেই হচ্ছে, it can be of two types, N-glycosidic bond and O-glycosidic bond. Now coming to biomedical importance of glycosides. So when a compound is formed, this is known as glycoside. Glycoside has two parts, a glycan part and a non-carbohydrate part. Okay, So non-carbohydrate part is known as aglycon and the carbohydrate part is known as glycon. So they come together to form glycosides. So glycosides, why they are important? Because they are used in different cases, such as cardiac glycosides are digoxin and digitoxin. They are used, all of them have therapeutic properties. Okay. Now coming to another esters. Ester formation happens with phosphoric acid in the same C1 carbon. C1 carbon OH group. Here is a phosphate group is attached. In case of 6 carbon also phosphate group can attach to form phosphate esters. Why phosphate esters are important? Because they are intermediates of carbohydrate metabolism. I am telling you, these reactions, they might seem very boring now, but the end products are important. Okay. As we are going into medicine, we should not remember the basic reactions, but the end products and why they are important. Here the end products are carbohydrate metabolism intermediates. So we should know them. So what is the significance? They are intermediates of carbohydrate metabolism, and in case of ribose phosphate and deoxyribose phosphate. Why are they important? Phosphate esters are important as they are nucleic acid components. So genetic material er backbone jodi amra na toiri korte jani, so how will we proceed? Right or not? Now coming to amino sugars. Until now we studied everything around the C1. Clear? Now coming to amino sugars. Here C2 carbon. In C2 carbon, OH group is interchanged by amine group, NH2 group. So this is known as 2-amino-D-glucose. 2-amino-D-glucose is also known as glucosamine. So glucosamine, why important? Glucosamine, why important? It is a component of heteropolysaccharide. Taito? See, these are the amino sugars: glucosamine, galactosamine, manosamine and N-acetyl glucosamine, N-acetyl galactosamine. All these amino sugars are important because they are constituents of heteropolysaccharide. And deoxy sugars, what are they? This is a ribose molecule. Why this is a ribose? This is a 5-carbon compound. 5-carbon compounded, what ring is this? Ribo? What? Ribopyranose, ribofuranose. Furanose. Why? Because this is a pentagonal structure having 4 carbon atoms. Right? So this is ribofuranose. Ribofuranose, there is OH group in carbon 2. When this OH oxygen is deleted from this OH group, it results in deoxyribose. The structural backbone of DNA is made up of deoxyribose sugar. So this is important. Now coming to disaccharides. Now you people tell me very quickly, what is sucrose? Glucose plus fructose, and not only glucose plus fructose, I told you this is 1,2 glycosidic bond, but alpha glucose and beta fructose. Why beta fructose? Because in the furan structure, here is fructofuranose structure. In carbon 1, the OH group, there is no OH group, CH2OH group in case of fructose, it is above the plane. It is above the ring structure. That's why it is a beta structure of fructofuranose. Right? Bojha geche? Why it is a beta glucose? Why it is a beta glucose? Because the CH2OH group is above the plane. So beta fructose and alpha glucose reacts to form alpha 1 beta 2 glycosidic bond, and this results in sucrose. Sucrose is the non-reducing sugar. And hydrolysis of sucrose, like a sucrose solution will give optical rotation of plus 66.5 initially, and when hydrolyzed it will produce 1 mole of glucose. We know that the glucose solution mutual rotation and optical rotation is 52.5. We have discussed, and the 1 mole of fructose, it is levorotatory and the optical rotation is minus 92 degree. So 1 mole of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose will give rise to a resultant negative or levorotation. So initial sucrose will give plus 66.5, but on consecutive hydrolysis it will result in a levorotation. বোঝা গেছে? Initially যখন glucose fructose attached ছিল in a sucrose molecule, the sucrose molecule gave optical rotation of 66.5 degree, but when glucose and fructose are hydrolyzed in separate molecules, they give individual optical rotation, and that will result in a final rotation of levorotation. Okay, so in this case the optical rotation is changed from positive to negative, right? So that's why the rotation is inverted, plane of rotation is inverted. Initial একটা sucrose solution আমরা দিয়েছিলাম, সেখান থেকে right deflection হচ্ছিল, but after few hours কি হবে, there will be negative deflection, and this deflection of sucrose solution is known as invert sugar. This solution is known as invert sugar because the optical rotation is changed from positive to negative. বোঝা গেছে? And this goes same for equimolar of glucose and fructose. Equimolar because 1 molecule of glucose is attached with 1 molecule of fructose to form 1 molecule of sucrose. So equimolar solution of glucose and fructose will give rise to invert sugar. Now lactose is the milk sugar. It is composed of galactose, beta galactose. See, OH group was on the above plane. Okay, so this is beta galactose and glucose. So this is beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. Now what happens to lactose? We intake milk and milk contains lactose. So in our small intestine there is lactase enzyme. Okay, আমাদের ব্লাডে কিন্তু ল্যাকটেজ নেই, গাটে আছে। Okay, so lactase deficiency may lead to accumulation of lactose কারণ it will not be converted into galactose and glucose. So you may know the term lactase deficiency or lactose intolerance, right? So those who cannot digest milk and they will have bloating, diarrhea, all these things when having milk. So what happens? The lactase deficiency leads to accumulation of lactose in large intestine, and bacteria will act on that lactose, resulting in carbon dioxide and different carbon metabolites, resulting in bloating and diarrhea. Clear? So lactose intolerance short note আসতে পারে. Okay, now coming to maltose. Maltose ki, it is a disaccharide made up of glucose and alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds. These components and the bonds, these are what you have to remember because these are asked. Okay, and why maltose is important? Reducing disaccharide. You may be asked, name one reducing disaccharide. So maltose is one of them, and maltose is the end product of starch hydrolysis. Isomaltose is also same, but it has alpha 1,6 glycosidic bond. Okay, in glycosidic bond the one carbon is always attached in one monosaccharide. Okay, now lactulose, we have seen it is a synthetic disaccharide made up of galactose and fructose. Okay, so it cannot be, it is both beta bonds. Beta bonds cannot be digested in human body. ঠিক আছে, সেই জন্য this is used as a synthetic laxative. What is laxative? That is used in constipation. In case of constipation, lactulose is given per oral, so there will be accumulation of lactulose with water molecules. Lactulose will draw water molecules in gut and that will clear the constipation. Okay, now glycoprotein. Glycoprotein, why it is important? because oligosaccharides, other oligosaccharides other than disaccharides, they are part of glycoproteins. Glycoproteins will have less amount of carbohydrate with a larger protein. Okay, and these are the types of glycoproteins. You just have to remember the names, okay, names and basic functions. So glycoproteins are used, or the functions of glycoproteins are such and such, and these names are important. Okay. So glycophorin, collagen, ceruloplasmin, immunoglobulin, intrinsic factors, fibrinogen, all these are glycoproteins and their functions are very important. Now also glycolipids, you all know cell structures, how important is glycolipid for cell structure, cell membrane. Now coming to polysaccharide, this is the last part. So polysaccharides can be of two types, homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. In homopolysaccharide, they are made up of the single monosaccharide, they may be branched or unbranched. So now coming to starch, starch is the reservoir of glucose, the storage carbohydrate in case of plants. আর এটাকে আমরা কি করে digest করি? It is amylose and amylopectin alpha bonds. Okay, so we can digest starch because it has alpha bonds. Alpha glycosidic bonds are digested in human body by alpha amylase. We have alpha amylase, but we don't have beta bond enzymes. Okay, so amylose is linear branch, amylopectin branched, and there are branching seen at after 25 to 30 glucose units. Okay, so linear branch hoche every single glucose molecule is added up to 25 or 30 glucose molecules, then there will be branching, and the branch point is always 1,6. Linear chain is formed by glycosidic 1,4 bond and branch is by 1,6 glycosidic bond. Okay, then we all know that starch gives iodine positive. Hydrolysis of starch is done by alpha amylase. I told you maltose is the end product. All, and see dextrins, these dextrins are the intermediates of starch hydrolysis. Now coming to glycogen, what is glycogen? Glycogen ki storage carbohydrate or storage homopolysaccharide in case of animals, and it is also branched glucose molecules, and it is attached to a core protein called glycogenin. Okay, so liver and muscle এর মধ্যে স্টোর থাকে, branched, these are more branched than amylopectin. Amylopectin এ ছিল after every 25 to 30 units, here it is after 10 to 18 units there will be branching. Okay, so this glycogen is another source of energy when glucose is deficit. Now coming to cellulose. Cellulose is also plant storage of glucose, but it is beta linked. Okay, that's why cellulose cannot be digested by animals, and beta bonds are hydrolyzed by cellobiose enzyme. Okay, cellobiose is deficit in animals. তাহলে যে অ্যানিমালসরা সেলুলোজ খায় তারা কি করে ডাইজেস্ট করে? how the other animals they digest cellulose? Bacterial cellobiose is used in their case. ঠিক আছে, তাদের গাটে will be bacteria which will produce cellobiose and then cellulose will be digested. Now cellulose is important as dietary fiber. Dietary fiber short note আসতে পারে, dietary fiber এর short note is important. It is insoluble and not digestible in because of the beta enzyme deficiency. It has high osmotic capacity, increased bulk, and peristalsis activity is also increased. It delays the glucose absorption. In case of lowering cholesterol, it helps. Okay, and also in case of constipation, it is the common thing. Okay, so importance of dietary fiber. Now coming to inulin. What is inulin? Inulin is the polymer of fructose, and it is beta 2 linkage. Okay, and why inulin is important? Because it is neither secreted or neither reabsorbed in our renal tubules. Okay, that's why inulin is used as measurement of GFR. What is GFR? Glomerular filtration rate. Okay, so inulin is the ideal substance to estimate the renal clearance and glomerular filtration rate. Now coming to dextrans. Dextrans are also homopolymers of glucose, where there are many branches. Okay, 1, 6, 1, 4, 1, 3, various branches are there. Now this may also be asked, what is dextran, dextrin and dextran? Dextrose is normal D-glucose, dextrin is intermediates of starch metabolism, and dextran is a homopolysaccharide, highly branched homopolysaccharide found in bacteria. And what is chitin? Chitin is also a homopolysaccharide that is present in exoskeleton of insects, and that is composed of N-acetyl glucosamine. Here we can see a amino sugar that is linked with beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Okay, so these are the disaccharides, homopolysaccharides. Now coming to heteropolysaccharides. Heteropolysaccharides can be of plant and human, animal source. So in case of কি হয়েছে এত কথা কেন? এগুলো সব জানা আছে? টাইম তো এখনো শেষ হয়নি। বল, তোরা বল, আমি আর বলছি না, বল বল আগারের কম্পোজিশন বল। আগার ইজ মেড আপ অফ, কে বলবি বল, তোরা সব জানিস, পড়া হয়ে গেছে। হোয়াট ইজ আগার? Why it is called heteropolysaccharide? Repeating unitটা কি থাকে? agare থাকে agarose and agaropectin, okay, which have repeated units of sulfated galactose and glucose. ঠিক আছে, আর এগুলো যদি মনে রাখতে পারি সেগুলো পড়বি হেমিসেলুলোজ and pectin. But the importance of agar is, as it is used as culture media of bacteria, agar plate is used to culture bacterial growth. ঠিক আছে, আমরা যখন when we give blood for culture sensitivity, blood test দেওয়া হয় তো culture sensitivity এর জন্য, blood or urine to detect whether there is any growth of bacteria. So how the bacteria is grown in lab? On agar plates. Okay, and electrophoresis to differentiate protein molecules or amino acids. We do electrophoresis in agar medium, agarose gel medium, we do the electrophoresis. That's why it is very much important in our lab field. Now coming to the glycosaminoglycans or mucopolysaccharides. Why it is known as mucopolysaccharide? Because it was differentiated, or it was initially found in mucin or mucinous products. Okay, so this is called mucopolysaccharide, and it is composed of one acidic sugar and amino sugar unit. One unit that has acidic sugar and amino sugar. What is acidic sugar? That is uronic acid. It may be glucuronic acid or idiuronic acid, and the amino sugar. Amino sugar কি হতে পারে? Glucosamine, galactosamine, N-acetyl glucosamine, N-acetyl galactosamine. See, amino sugars may be N-acetyl glucosamine, N-acetyl galactosamine, or normal glucosamine, galactosamine. And uronic acid can be D-glucuronic, L-idiuronic. What is the difference between D-glucuronic and L-idiuronic? Nothing, just the position of COOH, okay, the acid group. If it is above the plane, it is D-glucuronic, and if it is below the plane, it is L-idiuronic, okay. And this is glucosamine. In the C2 group, OH group is replaced by NH2 amine group. হয়েছে, আগেই বলেছি end products of amination. Here we can see that every heteropolysaccharide, they contains multiple COOH group. COOH gives us the negative group. H is not present initially, generally COO minus হিসেবে থাকে, তাই তো? So that minus energy or negative energy, they repel each other. When they come close, two molecules, when two chains of heteropolysaccharide come closer, they will repel each other and it will give a slippery appearance, slippery characteristics. So mucin, mucus, slippery. Why it is slippery? First of all, because the negative charge from all the acid groups and the ester groups also, okay, they give the negative repellation and it leads to slippery action. And also they are water absorbing, okay, all the molecules, they are water absorbing, so they stay as like this. With the heteropolysaccharide molecules, many water molecules will be attached. ঠিক আছে, ভালো করে দেখ, when it is compressed, water molecules will be separated, so they will give a cushion like action, spring action. ঠিক আছে, মানে একটা স্পঞ্জের মধ্যে, in a sponge, if it is dipped in water, তাই তো, a sponge that is dipped in water, when pressed, water will be separated, and when the pressure is uplifted, again the water will be accumulated in the sponge. So this thing gives same action, okay. Mucopolysaccharide gulo will give the same property, and that's why it is used in most of the connective tissues. What are the connective tissues? See, connective tissue, synovial fluid, connective tissue মধ্যে কি পড়ে? Bone, tendon, cartilage, blood, all these things, তাই তো, skin. So এই যে this chart is very important, very important. ঠিক আছে, long question, short question, MCQ, viva questions, everything. Why important? See the composition, one acid, sugar acid, and one amino sugar achai. Why it is studied in carbohydrate chemistry? Because here is one sugar acid, one amino sugar. Acha, you may be asked, name one mucopolysaccharide that does not contain sugar acid. Which one? Keratan sulfate. There is no acid, only galactose and glucosamine, N-acetyl glucosamine. And you may also be asked, in which GAG or mucopolysaccharide L-iduronic acid is used. All other cases D-glucuronic, okay. Where darmatan sulfate, there is L-iduronic acid. In case of heparin also iduronic acid is used, okay. So you have to remember the tissue distribution or the places where these mucopolysaccharides are found and what are the functions. Clear? So these are the individual mucopolysaccharides and their structure. Here in keratan sulfate, there is no acid group, it is only sulfated galactose, okay, sulfated galactose, and one N-acetyl glucosamine. In case of heparin, this may be glucuronic acid, this may be iduronic acid, okay. Heparin is an important anticoagulant. Now proteoglycans and glycoproteins. We have studied about glycoproteins earlier. Glycoproteins se ki hoy? Carbohydrate part is much less. In glycoproteins, protein is higher. But in proteoglycans, protein part is less. Carbohydrate is much more. See this structure. This is hyaluronic acid backbone. And these are the core proteins. Green parts, these are the core proteins. And the black threads, these are the heteropolysaccharides attached with them. So in the whole picture we can see large amount of heteropolysaccharide with small protein. So these are proteoglycans, okay. So proteoglycans are major component of extracellular matrix. Extracellular matrix, what is extracellular matrix? Where the cells reside, right? So here carbohydrate is much higher than the proteins. Okay, now the last point, that is we learnt about the normal structure, function of everything, every mucopolysaccharide. So we have to know the basic diseases related to mucopolysaccharides, and this is the diseases of mucopolysaccharides is known as mucopolysaccharidosis. Okay, mucopolysaccharidosis is the disease related to impaired degradation of mucopolysaccharides. Impaired degradation mane ki? Mucopolysaccharides, when they are produced, they are accumulated, and if the degradation is impaired, so they will not be degraded properly, so there will be storage of mucopolysaccharides. Storage of mucopolysaccharide will lead to diseases in bone, skin, cartilage, tendon, everywhere, in our eye also. So this is because of lysosomal hydrolase enzyme deficiency, because the lysosomal vesicles with lysosomal hydrolase will help in degradation of the mucopolysaccharides in our body. Okay. So the clinical symptoms will be as such: mental retardation, and all these can be seen. Corneal clouding, visceromegaly. Visceromegaly means enlargement of visceras, enlargement of our organs because of storage of mucopolysaccharides. Okay, so the diagnosis can be done by excessive excretion of GAG in urine. Okay, why? Because they are much in amount in our body, so kidney will try to excrete those in urine, so we can have mucopolysacchariduria. And prenatal diagnosis. What is prenatal means? Mane before birth. Okay, so during pregnancy, amniocentesis can give the result and diagnosis of mucopolysaccharidosis, but the confirmatory diagnosis is done by the concentration measurement of lysosomal hydrolase enzyme measurement. Okay, so we will see there is a deficiency or decreased concentration of lysosomal hydrolase enzyme. Clear? And this is the last chart. They are the clinical types of mucopolysaccharidosis. So these are the types, 7 types of different enzyme deficiency will lead to different syndromes. Clear? In your MCQ exams, this may be asked. In Hurler's syndrome, which enzyme is defective? Among 6, they will name 4, and you have to mark it. Clear? So this is also important. That's it. Any question? Any question? Clear? As a rapid revision of carbohydrate, is this sufficient? No. You have to study. You have to study a proper textbook. Which textbook are you following? Vasudevan is a very good book. Okay. So every line, every single line of Vasudevan is important for you. And whatever I told today is just the gist, is just the point, okay, that you have to cover. And all the heteropolysaccharide names and their functions, their components, you have to remember. So any question? No question? So I will ask question. Few more minutes left. I will ask question, okay? You tell me. Yes, you. What is the relation between glucose and fructose? Glucose and fructose. What is the relation between glucose and fructose? How are they related? Glucose and fructose? Is there any relation between glucose and fructose? Can they be named as anything? No, they are not diastereomers. Glucose and fructose enantiomers? No, they are not. What kind of isomer? Sit down, sit down, sit down. Functional isomer. Acha. What are the functional groups in carbohydrates? What are the functional groups present in carbohydrate? Aldehyde and ketones. Okay, so you told diastereoisomer. What is diastereoisomer? What is diastereoisomer? Diastereoisomer kake bole? What is diastereoisomer? Any special arrangement different in C2C3C4? C2C3C4. Any special arrangement difference in OH-H group around C2C3C4 is known as Diastereoisomers. Okay. What is enantiomer? Non-superimposable mirror image, and where there is the special arrangement difference in penultimate carbon only. With enantiomer, always remember the penultimate carbon. Okay. And the reference carbohydrate is glyceraldehyde. Clear? What is chiral carbon? All four different groups are attached with a single molecule of carbon. And how the number of total isomer is calculated by chiral carbon? 2 to the power n. Which rule is this? Van 't Hoff rule. Okay. Who discovered the linear chain of glucose? Emil Fischer. And who discovered the pyranose structure? Howard. Pyranose and furanose difference between pyranose structure and furanose structure. Pyranose is hexagonal and 5 carbon, and furan is pentagonal 4 carbon. So in both cases of glucose and fructose we can see pyranose and furanose. Okay. So pyran structure of glucose gives rise to another isomer. What is this? The pyranose structure. Who told? Anomers. What are the different anomers found? Alpha and beta. What is the alpha anomer? What is the alpha anomer? OH will be in the below plane. In case of beta, OH will be above. Okay. So how many total isomers will be there for hexose? 32. 32 how? 16 diastereoisomers and another 16 anomers. Okay. Okay. Now how to differentiate between glucose and fructose? Which test? Which test? Selivanov. Selivanov test differentiates between ketose and aldose. And which test differentiate between monosaccharide, disaccharide? Barfoed. Okay. Benedict difference between reducing and non-reducing. Non-reducing sugar is sucrose, and one reducing disaccharide, maltose, isomaltose, lactose, সবগুলো. Okay. So lactose is a disaccharide made up of galactose and glucose, and this is also beta linkage. Okay, but it is digested in our gut by lactase enzyme, and if there is lactase deficiency it will lead to lactose intolerance. Very good. Name one synthetic disaccharide that is used as laxative. Lactulose. Okay, not lactose, lactulose. Okay, it is a synthetic disaccharide. Okay, now coming to the amino sugars. Amino sugars, in case of amino sugars, which carbon atom is second position, where the OH group is replaced by amine group. Okay, what is the use of glucosamine or the amino sugars? Use of amino sugars? Heteropolysaccharide. They are the monosaccharides used in, yes, composition of heteropolysaccharides. So heteropolysaccharides are of how many types? Plant and animal. So in plant, the most important one is agar. It is made up of galactose and glucose by beta links. Okay, and agar is used for bacterial culture because there is no agarase enzyme in bacteria. Bacteria cannot digest, otherwise to সব খেয়ে ফেলে. Bacteria তো সবই নষ্ট করে ফেলবে, but there is no agarase enzyme. That's why agar is used for bacterial development, growth. Clear? And then all other mucopolysaccharides, you have to remember the composition: hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, darmatan sulfate, keratan sulfate, heparin. All the compositions, where they are found, and what is the function. Clear? Why the slippery feature is there in mucopolysaccharide? Because of the acidic groups. Negative charge is there, and all the negative charge repel each other, and thus they give rise to slippery action. Clear?